Kathy Horn of the New York Times wrote a special feature on Snooki.
Okay, oh, thank God. I was waiting for somebody to do this.
For the Sunday edition of the New York Times. And it was a 2,000-word feature, so it was very lengthy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was probably the harshest feature ever written on a celebrity.
Okay, I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sight unseen. I haven't seen the feature. Okay, so the reason behind it is, if you're talking about Angelina Jolie or Halle Berry or somebody, you're not going to write harsh things on them. They generally don't, right? Some blogs might, etc., but the mainstream press isn't going to. Why? They need continued access to those celebrities. Mm-hmm. Whereas Snooki, I mean, she's on 14.5 minutes of her 15 minutes of fame. Everybody knows that, and everybody considers her a joke. It's easy to bash her, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying she doesn't deserve it. My God, look at that New Jersey hair. Okay, and I'm from Jersey, so I have the immunity idol. I can talk about people's hair.
Did you see hair like that all the time in New Jersey?
No, not when I was growing up. They didn't stand up like that, but it was fluffy as all hell. Mm-hmm. I mean, they'd be like the girls would be like this. Mm-hmm. You know, like they walk into stuff, and you know. Okay, so now it's easy for a reporter to be like, "Ha ha! I got Snooki." I mean, congratulations.
Yeah.
It's like when Mike Wallace back in the day in 60 Minutes. I always go to this example. He couldn't have been any tougher on one guy that he interviewed. Not a president, not anything. It was Ricky Williams, who had dropped out of the NFL at that point. Why? He had no power. They didn't even think he was going to go back to the NFL. Mm-hmm. So it's easy to crush him, and it's easy to crush Snooki. So how'd she do?
All right, so I have a few excerpts from her feature. First, she says Snooki, is busty and short-waisted with small legs, sort of like a turnip on its tip.
Oh, oh man, oh, okay,
Man, this makes me feel bad for Snooki. Like, come on, I know, it's a ridiculous thing to say, but no girl would want to read something like this about herself. Anyway, I'll continue. But trying to hold a conversation with Snooki is a little like getting down on your hands and knees with a child. You have to come down to her level, and sometimes you almost think you need to bribe her with a piece of candy to coax her to be more responsive.
All right, now here's my thoughts on it. Look, that's incredibly harsh. I've seen Jersey Shore. It's a little true, okay? Mm-hmm. But my point is consistency, and that's why I brought up the stuff I did in the beginning. If you're going to do that with all the celebrities, and you're going to be that harsh to J-Lo, you're going to be that harsh to P. Diddy or whatever, okay, all right, then that's how you roll, right? But if you're going to be nice to everybody else, and then you get Snooki, and you're like, turnip, child, had to use candy on her, okay? Well, then it's not right. You see what I'm saying? Yes,
no, I totally agree with you. And then she also interviewed Snooki's father, right? And I think Snooki's father's quote is almost as bad as some of the things that Kathy Horn wrote. He says, she'll be up there hooting and hollering, and I'll say to someone, what is it that draws you to my daughter? Be honest, because it's very hard for me to see what it is. She don't sing, she don't dance. I don't want to say that she don't have talent. Then he shrugged. Everyone basically say that they relate to her. I think Nicole's just a likable person.
Yeah, look, this is all absurd. Why are they drawn to her? Because her name is Snooki and she's on MTV. Case closed. Okay? And she's a fun character. Don't get me wrong. I watched the show. I think she's hilarious in a lot of ways. She's very likable. But if she wasn't on MTV, here's who would be drawn to Snooki. No one. Okay? Nobody would be writing a 2,000-word New York Times Magazine article about her. She'd be like any other girl from New Jersey I grew up with. Right? And so you don't need to bash her. And on the other hand, she's not some like, you know, like, there's something special about Snooki. Okay? And, you know, when you watch the show, that's the one character, I think at least, that you're like, Snooki, it's going to be all right. I know you hook up with too many guys. And sometimes you say silly things. But your heart's in the right place, Snooki. That's all right.
Is she the one that hooks up with a lot of guys, or do all of the females hook up with too many guys?
No, she's got a certain innocence to her. Like, yeah, she hooks up with more guys, but in kind of like an innocent way. Like the other ones are scheming. Which guy am I going to get? You know, am I going to play this guy off against that guy? Snooki's like, I don't know. He came up to me. We were dancing, so we hooked up, of course. You see what I'm saying? Snooki, it's okay, man. I'm from Jersey. I got your back. Everything's going to be all right, Snooki.